Hello, and welcome to Nexus Story Network.
No one in the Orion cluster remembered the first universe. Not the scientists. Not the archivists. Not even the beings older than galaxies. But one thing remained from that forgotten creation. A seed. A remnant. A fragment of a universe that died before this one was born. And today, it woke up. The impossible star. The signal came from a star that shouldn't exist. A black star. A star with no light. A star that absorbed everything, even the idea of brightness. It hung at the center of a nebula of ash-colored clouds, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. Astronomers from thousands of worlds dismissed it as a sensor error. A glitch. A mirage created by gravitational folding. But on the night cycle of cycle 44.02, the star blinked. Once. Just once. And every supercomputer in the Empire crashed at the same instant. The researcher who saw too much, Dr. Lysara Myth, chief cosmologist of the Imperial Observatory, was the first to restore partial logs. When her screens lit up again, the data nearly knocked her out of her chair. The black star had emitted a burst of negative energy. Not antimatter. Not dark energy. Not vacuum decay. Something older. Something from before physics began. She whispered to herself. This is pre-cosmic. Her assistant, trembling, replied. That's impossible. Nothing from the pre-universe could survive. Lysara shook her head slowly. Unless it wasn't matter. Unless it was a memory. The Empire's highest alert. Within 6 hours, a crimson alert spread across 400 sectors. The Emperor's private intelligence fleet was deployed. The Imperial Science Council was summoned. Entire star systems were ordered into lockdown. Because the star's pulse wasn't random. It was a message. A warning. A map. And at the very center of the map was a region that had been forbidden for 40,000 years. Sector Theta Null. The place where reality tore open during the first collapse. The graveyard of the old universe. The entity in the dark. At the edge of that forbidden space, a lone starship drifted silently. Not Imperial. Not human. Not belonging to any known alliance. A single figure sat inside, wrapped in black exo armor, eyes reflecting the pulse of the dark star. Kale. No. Astra. No. Someone worse. Someone older. Someone who had been waiting for the seed to wake. His voice echoed in the empty bridge. So, the seed remembers. He placed a hand on a dormant console. The entire ship vibrated as if awakening from a dream. It remembers me. A hollow smile crossed his face. And soon, the galaxy will too. A whisper across reality. The seed pulsed again. This time stronger. A shock wave rippled through subspace, bending time for 1.3 seconds. Every telepathic species screamed. Every precognitive oracle fainted. Every AI above level 7 attempted to self-terminate. The message embedded in the pulse was simple. The universe that died did not stay dead. And then the final whisper. And its child is coming home. Lysara stared at the translation, her hands shaking. We weren't the first universe. We may not even be the second. Her eyes widened. And something from the last one is trying to return. The universe trembled long before anyone understood why. Across forgotten star systems, ancient satellites blinked awake. Deep inside nebulae that had been silent for eons, particles began moving in patterns like something enormous was breathing for the first time in ages. Only one person felt the shift directly. Lyra. A prodigy born with the vein of resonance, the ability to hear the universe's memory. She had always sensed whispers from distant space-time fractures. But today, she heard something else. A heartbeat. Not hers. Not the universe's. Something older. Something returning. The signal that shouldn't exist. Inside the Spire Academy's observatory, Lyra stared at the holographic waveform. It pulsed too steadily, too intentionally, to be a natural anomaly. Is that a life sign? Her mentor Aeron whispered. Lyra nodded. No biological signature. But it's patterned. Purposeful. Aeron paled. Then it matches the predictions. Predictions of what? She asked. He swallowed. Of the firstborn's return. Lyra had heard the myths beings created in the previous universe, a civilization so advanced they encoded their consciousness into cosmic seeds before their reality collapsed. Seeds that drifted into newborn universes, like theirs. But no seed had ever awakened. Until now. The message hidden inside light. The pulse repeated again, short, long, short patterns folding into patterns. Lyra amplified it. Suddenly, the waveform twisted into something impossible. A voice, woven from starlight itself. I, awaken. Where, is, the throne of ashes? Who, shapes this unstable cosmos? Lyra staggered backward. A living consciousness was speaking through photons. Aeron was trembling. The firstborn wasn't supposed to wake alone. The others never anchored. The seed wasn't meant for a mortal era. But who is he? Lyra breathed. Aeron whispered the name that most civilizations had erased from their myths. Aeron, the first architect. The being who designed the final refuges before the previous universe collapsed. The one who encoded his mind into the strongest seed. The one whose return meant only one thing. The dead universe had found a path back. The star that cracked. Suddenly alarms screamed through the observatory. The star orbiting their facility Calirius began to rotate unnaturally fast. Its plasma surface split, not from heat, but from pressure. A silhouette emerged inside the gap. Humanoid. Tall. Composed of swirling cosmic dust, starlight, and fractured space-time. A being forming itself from a star's memory. Lyra froze. Is that? Yes, Aeron whispered. The firstborn is manifesting. The star ruptured outward like a cracking egg, and the figure stepped into open space fully formed now, glowing with the radiance of a dying universe. A cold voice echoed across every system. I am Aeron, last child of the before realm. I return to claim what was lost. The observatory trembled under the pressure of his arrival. Aeron's voice was barely a whisper. Lyra, there are legends that when the firstborn return, they seek the seed of the dead universe, the one that gives them dominion over this cosmos. Lyra felt the pulse again, this time from her own chest. It wasn't the star. It wasn't Aeron. It was something inside her. A second heartbeat. The truth crashed into her. She wasn't hearing the seed signal. She was the seed signal. Aeron turned his burning eyes toward the Spire Academy, toward her. There you are, he said. The vessel who carries what remains of my universe. And Lyra realized. The firstborn hadn't just returned. He had returned for her. Because she wasn't just a resonant. She was the seed of a dead universe. And Aeron meant to awaken the rest of it through her. The moment everything changed. For a heartbeat, the universe went silent. Not space, not the observatory alarms, those still blared. But the universe itself, the background hum of existence Lyra had always sensed, went still, like reality inhaled sharply. And then she felt it. A slow, ancient rumbling. As if a planet-sized creature was awakening inside her chest. Lyra fell to her knees. Something was moving inside her mind. Not alive but remembering. The memory that wasn't hers. The floor rippled under her palms. No, her vision was rippling. The observatory dissolved into a sea of swirling gray and violet, the color of dying matter. A whisper echoed from everywhere and nowhere. Vessel, why do you fear your own origin? Lyra choked out, who are you? A soft answer. We are what your universe replaced. Images flooded her. A colossal city built from dark matter scaffolding. Stars collapsing into perfect spirals, feeding a single central forge. Enormous crystalline towers humming with near-infinite memory. A throne of broken galaxies. And at the center. Aeron, but older, darker, crowned in entropy. She wasn't seeing a vision. She was seeing a memory of another universe. A memory stored inside the seed, inside her. Her scream echoed through the mental void. The voice of the seed. The presence inside her pulsed again. Not hostile, not yet. Just observing her. Your body carries the final genetic lattice of our cosmos. You are the anchor. The last door. No, she gasped. I'm human. I'm not some cosmic key. The voice replied with ancient patience. Every universe is born from the death of another. You are the bridge between ours and yours. She felt her bones vibrate. Her cells realigning. Reality bending around the truth. Lyra was not chosen randomly. She had been engineered across generations for this purpose. Her entire lineage, every ancestor, bred by chance or fate or designed to host the seed when the time came. And that time was now. Aeron approaches. Outside the observatory, the air cracked. Not thunder space-time fracturing. Aeron descended from the burning remains of the star he used as a gateway. His body radiated gravitational halos, bending the room around him. Aeron grabbed Lyra's arm. "We must run." "We can't," she whispered. "He's not coming for the academy. He's coming for me." The door exploded inward. Aeron stepped inside tall, composed of starlight and blackened fractals, eyes burning like collapsing suns. He looked at her not with anger, but with recognition. "Seed vessel," he said softly. "Let me in." Lyra staggered back. "Why me?" she cried. Aeron raised a hand. The air rippled with memories billions of years older than her universe. "Because inside you lies the map to rebuild my lost realm. You carry the blueprint of everything we were." A faint glow began forming around her chest right where the second heartbeat pulsed. Aeron shouted, "Lyra, fight it." But Aeron's voice deepened, resonant with the weight of a dead cosmos. "Do not resist. You were born to awaken us." Lyra's vision split again, two universes layered atop each other. The living one she knew. And the dying one she carried. For the first time, she felt the seed's hunger. It wanted to grow. It wanted to open. It wanted to consume reality. Lyra screamed. And the seed answered. The gate that should never exist. The instant Lyra screamed, the observatory changed. The walls didn't shake, they folded. The ceiling didn't crack, it peeled back like paper. Stars outside didn't stay distant, they leaned closer, pulled by an unseen force radiating from within her chest. Aeron stopped just an arm's length away. His voice wasn't loud. But it ended all light in the room. "It begins." The floor beneath Lyra drew an enormous geometric sigil, assembling itself from pure gravitational distortion. Lines formed without material, just distortions in space, bending starlight into shapes older than physics itself. Aeron froze, breath stolen from his throat. "Lyra," he whispered, "he's opening a gate. A real entropy gate. These things only existed in theory." Aeron smiled with sadness. "In my universe, they existed everywhere." Lyra's body unlocks. The glow in Lyra's chest widened into a halo. Her veins lit up like constellations, gold at first, then darkening to purple-black, like galaxies dying inside her bloodstream. The second heartbeat surged. Thud. 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 Not hers. The seed's. Aeron raised both hands, one toward her, one toward the sky. The air around them thickened, like invisible oceans pressing inward. The first gate opens only through the body of the host. Lyra tried to breathe, she couldn't. She tried to speak, her voice dissolved into static. Inside her mind, the old universe whispered. "We awaken through you. Do not resist." Twisting pillars of violet black matter erupted around her, coiling like tentacles made of gravity itself. They didn't touch her, they connected to her, as if plugging into something buried in her DNA. Aeron screamed, "You're killing her." Aeron turned his head slightly. "I am freeing her." The gate tears open. A sound tore through reality. Not loud. Just final. Like the universe cracking its spine. Above them, the sky split open, not visually but conceptually, a tear in existence forming a perfect vertical wound of shimmering ash. Inside the slit. No stars, no light, no darkness. Just a churning fog of dead matter, like the ashes of a burnt cosmos. Aeron stumbled back, horrified. What is that?" Aeron took a slow breath. "The remains of my home. Matter from the dead universe poured through the fracture. Flickering dark stars that emitted cold instead of light. Shards of extinct constellations. Dust from galaxies that lived and died before Lyra's universe existed. And floating fragments of structures, towers, rings, and machines long since decayed." The gate widened further. And Lyra's scream turned into two overlapping voices, hers and something impossibly ancient. "The seed claims its domain." Her feet lifted off the ground. Gravity stopped obeying the rules around her. Aeron watched in helpless terror as she hovered at the center of Aeron's sigil, glowing with the dual energy of two universes. Her eyes snapped open. Not human anymore. In the left eye, a spiral galaxy. In the right, a collapsing black star. A voice emerged from her throat that was not entirely her own. The door is open. Aeron bowed not out of humility, but recognition. Welcome back, First Realm. The first gate unleashes its power. Wind didn't blow yet everything was pulled toward the rift. Not air concepts. Time. Memory. Momentum. Meaning. Books in the observatory unraveled into letters. The letters drifted upward. The letters forgot they were letters and dissolved. This was the breath of a dead universe returning. Aeron stepped closer to Lyra, speaking softly. One gate down. 4 remain. Lyra trembled. Her own thoughts drowned beneath waves of alien memory. A whisper inside her mind. Let us through. And we will make you queen of what comes after. She felt her consciousness slipping. The dead universe was not just awakening. It was annexing her mind. And Aeron watched with quiet reverence, as if witnessing a sacred ritual. The gate begins to feed. The rift pulsed. A pulse that spread across the planet. Across nearby star systems. Across the very fabric of reality. Far away, instruments in distant sectors malfunctioned simultaneously. Neutron stars flickered as if startled. A black hole in a neighboring cluster changed spin direction, a cosmic impossibility. The universe had noticed the intruder. But the dead universe noticed back. Aeron whispered the final words of the ritual. Rise, old world. The gate roared open. And the first true fragment of the dead universe stepped out. The first entity crosses the gate. What stepped through the gate was not a creature in any biological sense. It was a fragment of a dead star, shaped vaguely like a drifting humanoid silhouette, its surface cracked like volcanic glass. Inside the cracks, ember light pulsed dim, weakening, angry. A sun that once illuminated a universe. Now reduced to a walking shard of grief. It floated down with slow, seismic weight, every movement bending local gravity. Aeron stumbled backward, whispering. Why is a star walking? Aeron bowed in respect. His voice softened, like he was greeting royalty. The ember of the dead sun. Last remnant of the star that birthed my universe. The being spoke without sound. Its voice appeared directly in their minds. We remember light. We remember heat. We remember death. Lyra convulsed mid-air as the entity's presence pressed into her. Her heartbeat, her second heartbeat, synchronized with the ember's fading pulses. Aeron gestured to the shimmering rift. More will come, he whispered. Unless the host collapses. Aeron snapped around. What do you mean collapses? What happens to her? Aeron did not meet his eyes. The ember recognizes the host. The ember being looked at Lyra. Then it knelt. Not to Aeron. Not to the gate. To her. The glowing fractures across its body flared. Seed bearer. We have waited across nothing. Lyra's voice layered with the ancient entity as she struggled to speak. I don't want this. It's hurting me. The entity answered, sending waves of static across the room. You carry the memory of a perished starfield. The void burned us. And you are the only door back. Her body arched as a surge of power raced through her bones. She wasn't just a host. She was becoming a conduit. A bridge between two universes. And it was killing her. Aeron rushed forward. But Aeron grabbed his arm with terrifying strength. If you interrupt, she will die instantly. Aeron froze. Helpless. Burning with fear and rage. The ember shares its memory. The ember reached toward Lyra. A beam of black-violet light touched her forehead. Her pupils dilated then vanished. Her mind screamed open like a door blown off its hinges. And she saw it. The dead universe. Not through images. But through experience. Cold suns drifting through oceans of ash. Galaxies collapsing into slow, mournful spirals. Civilizations made of crystalline light screaming as entropy devoured everything. A collapsing God engine failing to restart reality. The final star, the one whose ember now knelt before her, detonating in silence. And darkness swallowing existence whole. Lyra gasped. No air entered her lungs. Her consciousness flickered. But the ember whispered gently in her mind. We do not seek to harm you. We seek to return. Aeron reveals his true purpose. Aeron stepped closer, the gate's light cascading between them. Aeron snapped. Tell me the truth, All of it? Now. Aeron didn't hide. He didn't lie. He looked directly at Aeron. I was not born in that universe. I was built from it. Aeron blinked. What? Aeron touched his own chest. My creators forged me from the last stable matter that remained after everything died. I was designed to carry the memory of their extinction. He pointed at Lyra. And she was born to carry their rebirth. The air tightened. The gate widened another meter. More shapes moved beyond the rift, massive, drifting silhouettes like titanic corpses of stars and cities. Aeron continued, voice low and reverent. I searched across realities for a life form compatible with the seed. Only her physiology could handle its memory. Aeron's voice cracked. You mean you chose her because she was weak enough to break? Aeron shook his head. No. Because she was strong enough to survive. The ember judges Aeron. The ember rose and floated toward Aeron. Heat, not fire, but the memory of fire radiated from it. Aeron fell to his knees as visions hammered into his skull. The collapse. The darkness. The silence after the last scream of the last star. And through it all, Lyra glowing at the center of the dead universe, as though chosen by forces older than space. The ember's voice filled the room. You fear for her. Good. Fear means you remember life. It placed a hand, if it could be called a hand, on Aeron's shoulder. The host needs a witness who still loves the living. Aeron's chest tightened. Then help me save her. The ember's light dimmed. We cannot save her. We can only change what she becomes. The seed transforms. Lyra's body twisted, not with pain, but with alignment. Her skin shimmered between matter and non-matter, flickering like a glitch in creation. Her voice broke into two. I can feel them. All of them. Inside me. They seek return through you. The ember answered. Aeron raised his hands, chanting in a language that felt like gravity speaking. Nail Thora, Keth on Vyr, let the host withstand the strain. The gate roared open again. And a second entity stepped through. This one larger. Colder. Its body shaped from the remnants of a neutron star. Reality began to bend. Lights dimmed. Space inverted. Time shuddered. Aeron's eyes widened. The dead sun is rebuilding its court. The ember floated higher, voice echoing through both universes. Prepare, seed bearer. The legions of the dead return. And for the first time, Lyra didn't resist. She reached toward the gate. And the gate answered. The gate gives birth to royalty. The chamber groaned as space-time folded into impossible angles. The second entity fully crossed the gate. A towering shape of collapsed matter, its surface swirling like molten black iron. Cracks of pale blue light ran across its frame. It did not walk. It warped the ground beneath it, pulling itself forward on gravity that obeyed only its will. A voice rolled out from it, deeper than thunder, older than silence. We are the first judge. Kneel. Aeron's knees buckled instantly. Not from fear, but from physics itself surrendering. Aeron bowed without hesitation. Even the ember lowered its head. But Lyra alone remained standing. Her hair floated as though underwater. Her eyes shifting between colors no living universe had ever seen. The judge's voice resonated again. The seed bearer stands. And so shall the court. The oppressive pulse stopped. Aeron gasped for air as his body stopped vibrating. A third entity appeared behind the judge. A fourth followed. Then more. Shapes carved of dead matter. Forms pulled from collapsed suns, frozen quasars, entropy storms. They assembled in a solemn formation, encircling Lyra in a vast ring of quiet radiance. Aeron whispered. The court of extinguished stars. The greatest council of my home universe. Aeron swallowed. What are they doing here? Aeron didn't answer. Because he wasn't sure. The court speaks of the past. The judge stepped forward. Where its feet touched the ground, gravity buckled and reformed, leaving fractal patterns of scorched stone. Its voice spread through every atom. We were the light that stood against the void. A second voice higher, sharper, resonating like frozen bells joined in. We were the last to fall. When existence ran out of its final breath. A third voice, trembling with ancient sorrow. We chose the seed. We gave it memory. We hid our hope inside a little universe of young stars. Lyra's breath hitched. You put it in me. The ember bowed before her. We planted a future within you. One you were never meant to bear alone. Aeron shut his eyes. His voice trembled for the first time. This is why you suffer. Because you're carrying the weight of a dead cosmos. Aeron clenched his fists. How do we stop it from killing her? Silence. Then the judge said. The seed does not wish to kill its host. But rebirth is never gentle. Lyra's transformation deepens. Lyra's pulse echoed like a distant drum. Her veins glowed with threads of cosmic dusk. She raised her hand. The gate rippled. Responding to her, not the court. Aeron looked horrified. She's synchronizing with the entire dead continuum. The judge nodded. The seed has awakened its roots. Now the host must choose. Lyra blinked, confused, afraid. Choose, what? A tall, slender entity shaped like a broken moon answered. Choice 1. Close the gate. Let us die forever. Another entity, shaped like fractured crystal, spoke. Choice 2. Open it wide. Let our universe pour into yours. Aeron's eyes widened. That would destroy everything. The entity did not deny it. A booming voice from a giant silhouette, perhaps once a star cluster in the shape of a titan, completed the thought. Your universe would become ours. Your galaxy's seeds of our return. Silence fell. The court waited. Lyra's breath shook. I don't want anyone to die, she whispered. The ember stepped toward her. Its dim light pulsed gently. Then you must consider the third path. Aeron's head snapped up. He looked terrified. No. The third path is unstable. It wasn't meant for mortals. The judge ignored him. It turned to Lyra. Choice 3. Become the bridge. Lyra froze. Bridge, between universes. The judge nodded. You would carry us lightly. And your universe would carry you. Two realities intertwined. Through you alone. Aeron's voice cracked. Lyra. If you choose that, you stop being just yourself. Aeron stepped forward, desperate. Then what is she? The court answered together, their voices blending into a cosmic chord. The first queen of the twins of reality. The room trembled. The gate pulsed. Lyra's aura brightened until her skin became translucent, revealing patterns of cosmic filaments inside her. She whispered. I don't want to be a queen. The ember spoke kindly. A queen is just a word. You would be the thread that ties two dying stories into one living one. Tears slid down her face. But I don't know if I'm strong enough. The court answered, gently this time. You do not have to be strong. You only have to choose. Aeron tries to intervene. Aeron stepped forward, shaking. Stop. You cannot force this upon her. She's not ready. The judge rotated its massive head toward him. You were not built to question us. Aeron lowered himself but didn't kneel. He looked at Lyra. They want to remake reality. But I want to save you. You are more important than any universe, dead or alive. For a second. Silence. Emotion. Lyra's breath hitched. Aeron whispered. Lyra. I'm with you. Whatever you choose. Something changed in her. A quiet steadiness. A luminous calm. She took a step toward the gate. The court of extinguished stars watched. Waiting. Holding their breath. If dead universes could breath. A final whisper passed through the chamber. Choose, seed bearer. And we will follow. Lyra touched the threshold of the gate. And everything exploded into impossible light. The moment of decision. When Lyra touched the gate, she expected heat. Or cold. Or pain. Instead, she felt truth. A clarity so profound it was almost silent. Reality peeled back like the petals of a cosmic flower. She saw every timeline that led to this instant. Every ancestor who unknowingly shaped her birth. Every flicker of probability that carried the seed through billions of years. Until it found her. Behind her, Aeron shouted. Lyra. Don't let it take your will. Aeron's voice overlapped, strained with fear. Please don't lose yourself. The court remained silent. The dead universe held its breath. Lyra exhaled. I choose. And then the gate showed her the futures. All of them. Future 1 if she closed the gate. A universe restored. Peace. Stability. But also, a quiet cosmic emptiness. The dead universe drifting forever in unbroken darkness, never remembered, never reborn. Aeron falling to his knees in endless grief. The court dissolving into dust. Humanity never knowing what almost consumed them. Lyra living a long human life. Haunted by a guilt she could never describe. Future too if she opened the gate. Light and darkness merged. The two universes collided. The living stars screamed. The dead ones roared. Empires shattered instantly. Entire galaxies collapsed into twisted echoes of themselves. Aeron ascended to a throne of broken cosmos. The court rebuilt their world on the ashes of Lyra's. Humanity choked under physics they were never meant to see. Lyra burned bright and then disappeared. Her soul torn between the collapsing infinities. Future 3 The bridge. A paradox of light. A new form. A being that existed in two realities simultaneously. Her body human. Her blood carved of star ashes from a forgotten cosmos. Aeron beside her, no longer a prince of ruins. But a guardian of something new. Aeron alive, protected by the shared physics of the twin universes. Humanity evolving not conquered, not destroyed, but enlightened. A path of unimaginable difficulty. But one where she did not die. And neither universe had to fade. Lyra opened her eyes. The futures collapsed into the present. She whispered. I choose the bridge. The court reacts. The chamber shook. The gate swelled outward, expanding into a spiral of inverted gravity. The court of extinguished stars lowered their heads. Not in dominance. In reverence. The seed-bearer has spoken. We yield. The judge stepped aside, opening the path to the gate. Aeron stared at Lyra, stunned. Lyra, do you understand what this means? I do. You'll become something else, she finished. She smiled faintly. Not alone. Not anymore. Aeron's eyes softened something like hope, something like fear. The transformation begins. The gate wrapped around her like liquid light. She rose from the floor. Levitating, unbound by gravity. Filaments of dead starlight swirled around her arms. Living plasma danced across her skin. Her heartbeat stabilized into a dual rhythm. One pulse for each universe. A humming resonance filled the air. Her voice layered with thousands of echoes. I am the thread between worlds. Aeron shielded his eyes. Aeron stepped back in awe. The court bowed. The dead universe poured into her. But did not consume her. The living universe anchored her. But did not confine her. She became the fulcrum. Between everything that lived. And everything that once had lived. Reality splits. Then. Crack. A thin line of light ripped across the chamber. Space divided. One side reflected the living universe bright, sharp, full of possibility. The other side reflected the dead one dim, textured, echoing with lost memories. They overlapped like twin images on broken glass. Everyone gasped. Aeron whispered. What's happening? Aeron answered quietly, reverently. She's stitching the universes together. So gently that neither one breaks. Lyra raised her hands. Two cosmic ribbons, one of dying starlight, one of newborn nebula, extended from her palms. She wove them. Across the room. Across the gate. Across reality. The universes overlapped, but didn't collide. They intertwined, forming a third space. A frontier between existence and absence. The court watched with trembling awe. The bridge is formed. The queen of the twin realms rises. Lyra floated down gently, her feet touching the floor. She glowed softly, a steady pulse of calm energy. Her voice was hers again, but deeper, connected. I am still Lyra. But now. I am also the seed. Aeron stepped closer. Are you in pain? She smiled. No. For the first time. I'm whole. But the choice has consequences. Then everything went wrong. The court suddenly turned their heads upward. Towards something only they could sense. A tremor passed through the gate. A dark ripple. A vibration from deeper than the dead universe. A presence. Older than the court. Older than Aeron's universe. Older than the seed. The judge's voice cracked for the first time. The Void Stalker has heard the bridge. Aeron froze. Aeron's heart stopped. Lyra's glow flickered. The court whispered as one. Something hungry comes. And the bridge, fresh, delicate, still forming, shivered under the weight of a colossal shadow. Lyra whispered. It followed the dead universe here. Aeron reached for her hand. Then we fight it together. The gate pulsed violently. Something huge pressed against the thin membrane of space. Reality bent inward. And Lyra, now the bridge, felt its hunger. A hunger for both universes. For everything. The chapter ends with her breathless whisper. The void has arrived. The universe was not silent when Aeron spoke. It listened. And the void, the endless, ancient, breathing nothing, heard her name for the first time. A ripple traveled outward from Aeron's lips like a trembling silver ring on an infinite black ocean. Every extinguished star in the court dimmed even further. As if bowing. Aeron felt the temperature of reality itself drop. Cold. Sharp. Predatory. He grabbed her arm instinctively. Aeron, don't speak again. Something is. But the void answered before he could finish. A voice older than light. It came not from around them, but from within the spaces between their atoms. A voice without tone. Without breath. Without beginning. Aeron. Her name stretched and bent like a shadow pulled too long. Even the dead star beneath them flickered at the sound. Aeron's knees buckled. He pressed his palms to the scorched star surface as if the universe had doubled its weight on his back. Aeron, what did you open? He whispered. She didn't answer. Her eyes were wide, almost glowing, her pupil expanding like an eclipse. Again, the voice. Aeron. Seed bearer, why have you awakened us? The word us didn't sound plural. It sounded like one thing pretending to be many. The void remembers. Aeron spoke without moving her lips. I didn't mean to call you. I was only trying to. A roar of cold laughter cut through galaxies. All seeds call us. All bearers of ends become our door. Aeron forced himself upright. He pulled Aeron close, shielding her. She belongs to the living universe, he growled. She is not yours. Silence. Then, softly. We remember you, Aeron. The lost child of the living cosmos. The one who hears songs no mortal should. Aeron froze. Aeron turned to him slowly. You never told me you could hear them too. He shook his head. No. It's not the same. I only hear echoes. You hear origins. The void interrupted. You misunderstand your own blood. You are not an echo, Aeron. You are an unfinished verse. Aeron staggered back as if struck by lightning. The vision of the first universe. The court of extinguished stars dissolved. The dead sun beneath them cracked apart like an eggshell. Darkness swallowed everything. Then. Light. But not normal light. Not starlight. Something older, rawer, primal. The light of the first universe, the one that died to birth this one. Aeron floated weightless inside a spiral of collapsing galaxies. Aeron drifted beside her, breathing hard as the vision burned into them. They saw the firstborn civilization. Beings made of crystallized gravity, shaping universes like clay. They saw the cataclysm. A force with no form, no face, no purpose except to end. They saw the last act of the firstborn. A seed forged from their dying star. Hidden in the fabric of a newborn cosmos. A seed that waited for one person. Aeron. The void demands its seed. The vision snapped away. They were back in the court, but now the stars whispered like insects. The voice returned, closer, colder. Give us the seed, Aeron. Return what belongs to the dead. She clutched her chest where the glowing fragment rested beneath her skin. No, she whispered. This universe still breathes. I won't kill it. A tremor spread through the void. Not anger, but anticipation. Then you choose defiance. As your creators once did. Aeron grabbed her hand. His voice was shaking. Aeron. It's after you. The seed, it's waking things we can't fight. She turned to him. Her face fragile, her voice trembling. I don't want this power. I never asked for it. But if the dead universe wants to consume ours. She stepped forward. It'll have to get through me. The darkness writhed like liquid around them. The voice whispered one last time. Then the void knows your name. And we will come for you. The cord collapses. Every extinguished star cracked open. Like thousands of eggs releasing black serpents of pure entropy. The cord ruptured. The floor split beneath their feet. Aeron yelled, grabbing Aeron as the dead sun crumbled into the abyss. The void swallowed everything. But a burst of blinding gold shot from Aeron's chest, wrapping them both in a cocoon of light. For the first time in eternity. The void recoiled. And Aeron heard something impossible. The void screamed. Light. Blinding, searing, newborn light. It burst from Aeron like a star ripping itself into existence, a golden shockwave that tore the darkness apart. The void's tendrils recoiled, shrieking in frequencies that cracked the already dead constellations around them. Aeron clung to her as the cocoon of light expanded, lifting them both upward, away from the collapsing cord of extinguished stars. What is that?" he gasped, shielding his eyes. Aeron's voice trembled with awe. "It's not me," she whispered. "It's the seed." The seed wakes. Inside the cocoon, Aeron's chest burned with a white-hot glow. Beneath her skin, the fragment pulsed like a beating heart. A heart older than time. Aeron stumbled back as veins of golden light spread across her arms and face. "Aeron! Stop your body. It's not hurting me." Her voice was surprisingly calm. "It's speaking." A vibrating hum filled the cocoon, resonating through bone, through thought, through the very particles of existence. Then a message formed. "A star must be born." The cocoon expanded again. This time with such force that the void physically split apart, like curtains ripped open by a furious hand. Aeron stared at her in disbelief. "You're creating a star." Aeron shook her head. "No. The seed is." She placed her hand over her heart. "And it's using me as the forge." The void strikes back. The darkness surged. Not slowly. Not cautiously. It attacked like a tidal wave of teeth and claws made of absence. The void had no shape, yet in its rage, it began forming one. A grotesque, unfolding mass of jagged limbs and spiraling mouths. Its voice thundered across the collapsing cord. "You will not birth a son into our domain." Aeron stepped in front of Aeron, even though he knew he was useless against it. "Aeron, that thing will tear through us." She didn't let him finish. Her eyes glowed brighter than the dying universes around them. "It can try." She lifted her hands, and the seed responded. A miniature star ignited between her palms. A swirling core of fire, gravity, and ancient cosmic memory. Light poured out of her like 1,000 dawns happening at once. The void screamed. The star grew. The last sun begins. The miniature star expanded into a sphere 100 meters wide. A newborn celestial body glowing with raw, impossible power. It pulsed like a heartbeat. The void reeled backward as its edges burned. Aeron felt tears sting his eyes. He didn't understand why. Was it fear? Awe? Or the realization that if Aeron didn't stop, she might burn herself out? "Aeron," he whispered. "Your body can't handle this." She didn't turn. "I was chosen for this, Aeron." Her voice was steady, resolute. "The seed didn't embed itself in me by mistake." The void surged forward again. "You defy the end. You defy us." The newborn sun flared, sending an expanding ring of golden fire through the darkness. For the first time in eternity, a dead universe felt heat. The star speaks. The star wasn't just glowing. It was thinking. A voice emerged from the blazing sphere. "We are the last sun. We remember the first universe. We shall not perish a second time." Aeron stumbled backward. "The sun is alive." Aeron nodded, sweat glowing on her brow from the star's heat. "It's a firstborn relic. Their last guardian." The void snarled. "We erased your kind once." The sun's voice boomed like a god waking from eternal sleep. "Then try again." It erupted, sending a lance of solar fire through the void's forming body. The darkness evaporated like frost under a torch. The void recoiled in agony. And Aeron's body collapsed. Aeron catches her. He rushed forward and grabbed her before she hit the ground. "Aeron. Stay with me." Her breathing was shallow, her skin fever hot. "The seed," she coughed, light flickering behind her eyes. It's taking too much. I can't keep channeling it. Aeron held her tighter. Then stop. Let the star fight, it doesn't need you anymore. But she shook her head weakly. No. It's not done. It needs a stabilizer. Without someone holding the connection. She looked toward the blazing sun. It'll collapse. And if it collapses now, everything dies. The sun's voice softened. Seed bearer. Hold. She tried. She failed. Her heart stuttered. The sun dimmed. The void smiled. Aeron makes a choice. He looked at Aeron. Then at the dying sun. Then at the void advancing again, rebuilding its monstrous form. Aeron clenched his fists. If the seed needs a stabilizer. He placed his hand on Aeron's chest, over the glowing fragment. Then take me too. The seed flared at his touch. It recognized him. Of course it did. He was the unfinished verse. Golden veins spread over his arm, racing up his body, merging with Aeron's light. Their breaths synchronized. Their hearts beat in unison. And for the first time, the seed had two conduits. The last sun roared back to full strength. The void screamed in fury. The birth of the last sun. Together. Aeron and Aeron lifted their hands toward the newborn star. Their voices intertwined. Ignite. The sun exploded into a radiant sphere of creation, a star so bright it resurrected the dead universe around it. Galaxies flickered. Extinguished stars sparked with life. The core shattered into living nebulae. The last sun was born. And the dead universe was waking. The void shrieked in raw terror. You have restarted what was meant to die. The last sun answered. Yes. A universe that remembers. The newborn sun's light carved across the dead cosmos like a blade of resurrection. Where there had been nothing. No stars, no warmth, no breath. There was now a trembling flicker of reality struggling to reform itself. Aeron and Aeron floated in the heart of the storm of rebirth. Their bodies glowed with the seed's shared power, their veins carrying starlight instead of blood, their minds tethered to something far older than the known universe. A soft hum vibrated through space. Galaxies that had long turned to silent dust began reassembling, dust particles swirling together as if remembering what they once were. Nebulae bloomed like slow-motion explosions of color. Fragments of shattered realms reconnected, stitching themselves into the lattice of cosmic architecture. The last sun, now colossal, radiant, and sovereign, hovered behind Aeron and Aeron like a god watching over its children. Its voice echoed across the rising cosmos. The dead shall rise again. But the void does not die easily. Even rebirth casts a shadow. From the broken cracks between rekindled galaxies, the void slithered out. Its form fractured, its confidence shattered but its hunger intact. But it was changing. No longer an endless, formless darkness. It had adapted. Fear made it evolve. It now wore a shape resembling a star-eater. An abomination with a skeletal frame, wings made of collapsed space, and a mouth that opened into infinite nothingness. Its voice was deeper, angrier, desperate. You were a grave, this was your fate, we are the final truth. Aeron felt the hatred shiver through him. Aeron gripped his hand. He's not just angry, he's afraid. Aeron understood. Yes. Because for the first time he can be killed. The universe fights for itself. The newly resurrected galaxies pulsed like beating hearts. Stars flared awake. Planets reformed from swirling debris. And something miraculous happened. The universe itself began to resist the void. Gravitational waves slammed into the creature. Nebulae twisted into spears of ionized gas, lashing at its limbs. Dark matter currents spiraled around it, trying to bind it. A universe reborn was not a silent one. It was alive. Awake. And furious. Aeron stared in awe. It's fighting back. Aeron's eyes shone softly. This universe remembers what it lost. It won't let the void take it again. The void's last stand. Enraged, the void spread its monstrous wings, tearing open reality like ripping cloth. The resurrected galaxies dimmed. The last sun flickered. The court of extinguished stars trembled. The void pulled energy from every scar it had ever inflicted. It became a storm. A storm large enough to swallow universes. Aeron felt his entire existence shake. Aeron, we can't hold this. But she squeezed his hand tighter. You're wrong. You're the missing verse. And I'm the seed bearer. She looked at the last sun. We face this together. The star forged within. The seed reacted to their unity. Their combined light intertwined. Two souls, two hearts, two cosmic signatures merging into one force. Behind them, the last sun exploded into a ring of molten brilliance, forming a towering structure of light and gravity. It wasn't a sun anymore. It was transforming. Aeron whispered in awe. A Starforge. The last sun replied. We forge the future now. The birth of a cosmic weapon. The Starforge began shaping light into matter, matter into force, force into something unimaginable. A blade. Not metal. Not energy. A blade made of collapsed creation, forged from the memory of every universe the void had devoured. Aeron. The first weapon ever crafted in the dead universe. Aeron reached for it, and as his fingers touched its surface, the weapon flared with the power of a billion unborn stars. Aeron placed her hand atop his. The blade hummed. The void roared. You cannot kill what has no beginning. Aeron stepped forward, eyes blazing. Then we'll give you an ending. The battle that was never supposed to happen. Light versus darkness. Creation versus erasure. Aeron and Aeron merged through the seed launched forward, wielding the cosmic blade as universes swirled around them in a storm of rebirth. The void countered with blackened tendrils, each one a timeline it had consumed. It hurled collapsed galaxies at them like broken weapons. It screamed with the voices of every world it had silenced. Aeron sliced through tendrils of nothingness. Aeron channeled the star's energy, forming shields of molten creation that melted the void's attacks. The last sun roared behind them, fueling their power, stabilizing the rising universe. Stars exploded in their wake. Nebulae vortexed wildly. Reality cracked and stitched itself at impossible speeds. This was no battle. This was cosmic surgery. A universe choosing which part of itself would live. The void's fear turns to desperation. The creature staggered backward, its wings fraying into dust. For the first time in eternity. The void bled. Dark liquid fell like rain across the resurrected stars, dissolving as soon as it touched the newborn light. Aeron stared, breathless. We're hurting it? Aeron lifted the cosmic blade. We're ending it? The void hissed, broken, and cornered. You rewrite what should not be written. Aeron stepped closer. No. We're correcting your mistake. The void lunged. But it was too slow. Aeron and Aeron brought the blade down together. A strike that echoed across all realities. A strike that ended an era. A strike that killed what was never meant to live. The void shattered into shards of absolute darkness, its scream fading into nothingness. Forever. Silence. Then light. The dead universe glowed. Alive. Restored. Breathing. The last sun dimmed gently, its task complete. Aeron collapsed to her knees. Aeron caught her once again. She looked at the reborn sky and whispered. We did it? Aeron held her close. No. The universe did it? We just lit the spark. Above them, the galaxies swirled in gratitude. The last sun whispered. The universe lives? Aeron looked at Aeron. And so do we. A new light that was never written. The void was gone. Its echo had finally been silenced. But victory did not bring a return to normalcy. Aeron and Aeron drifted slowly through the vast cosmic field where the battle had ended. The last sun hovered behind them, still immense, still burning, but transformed. No longer merely a sun. No longer merely a forge. It had become something else. Something older. Something newborn. A consciousness made of starlight and ancient memory. The endless star. Its surface rippled like molten gold. Rings of gravity spiraled around it like slow-motion halos. And at its core, something pulsed with a rhythm neither Aeron nor Aeron had ever felt. A heartbeat. A heartbeat of a universe. A gentle voice resonated. My children. The dawn has come. The endless star's gift. Aeron frowned softly. There's something inside you. The endless star glowed. Yes. A part of the void died within me. But a part. Transformed. Aeron froze. Transformed into what? The endless star dimmed its brightness as if showing humility. Balance. A trembling line of light spilled from its core, stretching outward like a comet tail. It coalesced into a shape. A seed-like orb swirling with the colors of newborn creation. Aeron recognized the energy immediately. It's a new seed. The endless star responded. Not like the one you carry. This one is a bridge. A link between death and birth. Aeron stepped forward, mesmerized. A seed that can stabilize the living universe, and the dead one. Yes. The endless star vibrated with ancient wisdom. You have reborn this realm. But it will need a watcher. A guardian of balance. Aeron felt the truth settle over him like gravity. It's calling one of us. A choice neither expected. The seed pulsed once. And floated toward Aeron. She stopped breathing. Aeron reached instinctively for her arm. Aeron, wait. The seed orbited her, scanning, sensing, judging. The endless star spoke. She was the firstborn of this dead universe. She carries its memory. She understands its grief. Aeron's heart twisted. But, what does accepting it mean? Silence. The cosmic silence of an entire universe inhaling. The endless star answered softly. She will become the heart of this universe. Its guardian. Its soul. Aeron's breath faltered. Meaning, she won't be able to return with me. The endless star dimmed in sorrow. Meaning, she will be above time. Above flesh. She will live. But not as you know life. The weight of immortality. Aeron looked at Aeron with trembling eyes. I don't want to leave you. Her voice cracked like a breaking star. Aeron held her face gently, forehead touching hers. I know. But this universe, it needs you. She closed her eyes. And you. He kissed her hand. I'll survive. Because I'll know you're here. Breathing life into a universe that would have died without you. Tears fell. But in this place, tears were tiny sparks of starlight. Aeron whispered. I love you, Aeron. He whispered back. I love you beyond universes. The becoming. The seed pulsed again, brighter now. The endless star hummed. Are you ready, firstborn? Aeron nodded, though her hands shook. I am. The seed pressed against her chest. A slow, gentle merging. A warmth spreading through her veins. Her body glowed from within. Her heartbeat synced with the newborn universe. And suddenly, she wasn't just Aeron. She was everywhere. Her senses burst outward. She felt newborn galaxies swirling into being. She felt stars forming like breaths. She felt dark matter currents dancing like rivers. She felt gravity weaving worlds together. She was the subconscious of the universe. The whisper in every particle. The memory of every reborn atom. Aeron watched her transform into a cosmic entity of living starlight. She looked back at him, eyes now glowing galaxies. He whispered. You're still you. Her voice, now layered with 1,000 celestial harmonics, replied. I am, and I will always be yours. The last gift. The endless star extended a final beam toward Aeron. Inside it lay a fragment of Aeron's former essence. Her human warmth, her memory, her laugh, her light. Aeron took it carefully. What is this? A piece of her heart. The endless star answered. She wished for you to carry it. Aeron closed his hands around it, tears falling silently. She always cared too much. And that is why the universe chose her. A final farewell. Aeron, no, the guardian of the endless star, floated before him. Her form shimmered, shifting between her old self and her newborn cosmic shape. Aeron. I will watch over you. Forever. He nodded, swallowing the ache tearing through him. And I'll come back. Someday. Across universes if I have to. Her smile flickered like a star. I will be waiting. The dawn of the endless star. The newborn universe flared brilliantly. A cosmic sunrise thousands of galaxies wide. Aeron stepped back as the endless star's radiance grew too bright for mortal senses. The guardian lifted her hands. And the universe responded like a choir. Galaxies aligned. New stars ignited. Cosmic winds sang. A universe dawned. Not empty. Not dying. But rising. Because of her. Aeron whispered into the shimmering light. Goodbye, my star. And as the light engulfed the cosmos, a new era began. Aeron had seen many impossible things: stars being born from silence, void creatures whispering her name, and the resurrection of a universe that had once died. But she had never seen anything like him. He arrived without a sound. No ripple in space-time. No flash of dimensional light. No warning. He simply stepped into existence as if the universe had forgotten he wasn't supposed to be there. A tall man, wrapped in fractured starlight and dust from worlds no one had ever named. His eyes held the reflections of millions of universes, all spinning behind his gaze like caged storms. Aeron felt the endless star inside her flare in alarm. "Who are you?" she whispered. He bowed slightly. "A traveler," he said. "A witness. A survivor of many endings. They call me the Between Walker." Aeron tightened her grip on the flame of the last sun. "No one walks between universes. Not without being torn apart." The man smiled sadly. "Correct, unless you no longer belong to any universe at all." He was unanchored. Untethered. A being without home. Not born in a universe. Not bound to one. Not dying with one. He existed only in the spaces between realities, the thin membranes where time forgot to flow. Aeron felt a chill. "What do you want from me?" The Between Walker looked at her with eyes filled with too many tragedies. "I have watched you, Aeron of the Endless Star," he said. "I watched your universe die. I watched it breathe again. And now, I come with a warning." Aeron's heartbeat stilled. What kind of warning? He stepped closer. Space buckled around him but refused to touch him, as if the laws of physics were afraid. "Your awakening has been felt," he said. "And not only by your universe." Aeron's breath caught. "You mean other universes know about me?" "Not know." His voice grew heavy. "They fear you." The endless star within Aeron burned hotter. "Why?" "I didn't threaten anyone." The Between Walker raised a hand and reality peeled open behind him like a curtain, revealing a cosmic battlefield that stretched infinite. Collapsed universes drifting like corpses. Time loops shattered. Stars frozen mid-collapse. And at the center, a presence. A vast, growing storm of consciousness. Aeron staggered. "What is that?" "The multiversal choir," the Between Walker said. "The Council of Living Universes. They speak in one voice. They decide what is allowed to exist." He turned to her. "And they believe you are an abomination." Aeron felt the flame inside her churn. "Because I carry the seed of a dead universe." "No," he said softly. "Because you brought a universe back to life. Something they believed impossible. Something they fear might unbalance the multiverse." Aeron clenched her fists. "So what will they do?" The Between Walker's expression darkened. "They voted. Your universe is to be erased. Permanently. Irreversibly. Before it can grow strong again." The endless star roared inside her, shaking the ground. "No," Aeron breathed. "Over my dead body." The Between Walker nodded. "I expected nothing less." He extended his hand. "The choir will arrive in 3 cycles. Alone, you cannot stop them. But with me, you may survive long enough to change fate." Aeron hesitated. "Why help me?" Finally, his expression cracked, revealing something terrible beneath. "A long time ago," he whispered, "I failed to save a universe I loved." He met her gaze. "I will not fail again." Aeron reached out, her flame touching his starlit hand. Reality trembled. And for the first time, the woman who birthed a star and the man who walked between universes took their first step toward war. The moment Aeron touched the Between Walker's hand, something ancient and immense stirred across the folds of eternity. Not in one world. Not in one dimension. But every universe simultaneously shuddered, as if they all shared the same heartbeat, and Aeron's defiance had just made it skip. Far above all creation, inside a realm where no star ever formed and no time ever flowed, an assembly awakened. The multiversal choir. The Council of Living Universes. 13 cosmic beings, each representing an entire reality. They did not speak with mouths. They spoke through the vibration of space-time, through gravitational murmurs and quantum whispers. And tonight, their voice was thunder. The choir speaks. Aeron did not see them with her eyes. She felt them in her bones, in her breath, in the small tear that opened in the air before her. The Between Walker paled. "They've arrived early," he whispered. "This is bad." They never accelerate judgment. A voice poured out of the tear, deep, resonant, older than physics. Aeron of the reborn universe, step forward. Aeron swallowed. Her universe had a voice. A consciousness. A will of its own. Every universe did except hers had died once. And because she revived it? Because she carried its seed. It could now speak through her. She stepped forward anyway. I'm here. Another voice, this one colder. You have defied the natural order. A third, sharper. You restored what was meant to be extinct. A fourth, trembling like a dying star. And therefore, you are a threat. Aeron's flame whispered in protest, curling around her hands like frightened light. I didn't break anything, she said. I saved something. The choir's collective voice boomed. A universe that has died must remain dead. The Betweenwalker stepped in front of her. That rule is rot, he snapped. Outdated. Cruel. Arbitrary. A low, universe deep growl vibrated from the tier. You are not permitted to speak, Betweenwalker. He flinched as if the words were physical blows. But Aeron didn't back down. You fear what I might become, she said quietly. Is that it? Silence. Then. We fear what your universe might become. Her heart hammered. And what is that? The tear widened, revealing not stars, not matter, not anything comprehensible. But a reflection. Aeron saw herself. But older, brighter, terrifyingly powerful. Wreathed in stellar flame. Eyes burning like collapsing suns. She looked like a goddess. Or a monster. It was impossible to tell the difference. The choir spoke as one. This is your path. Aeron, bearer of the endless star. You will ascend beyond your universe. And in doing so, you will end countless others. Her pulse froze. That's a lie, she whispered. No, said the choir. It is prophecy. The image flickered. Showing countless universes collapsing at her touch. Folding into her flame. Devoured not out of malice. But because her growing power could no longer fit inside a single cosmos. Her existence alone would break everything. Aeron stumbled back. The Betweenwalker caught her. Don't listen, he murmured. Prophecies lie. Universes lie. I've seen it all. But Aeron couldn't speak. The vision burned into her. Verdict of the multiverse. By decree of the multiversal choir, the voices thundered. We deliver judgment. Aeron felt something press against her chest. An invisible weight crushing the flame inside her. Your universe will be sealed. Cut off from the multiverse. Left to die, slowly, permanently. A tear streamed down Aeron's cheek. They weren't just killing a universe. They were killing her home. Her people. Her past. Everything she had fought to restore. She stepped forward, fury burning through the grief. No, she said. The tear quivered. No, the choir echoed. Aeron raised her head. Her voice was steady, calm, terrifying. I reject your judgment. The Betweenwalker gasped. The air split with cracks of cosmic lightning. The choir's 13 voices twisted into a roar. Then you choose war. Aeron's flame erupted. Blinding, defiant, alive. No. I choose freedom. The tear snapped shut. Silence. Then the Betweenwalker exhaled shakily. Aeron, you don't understand. His voice broke. They will bring armies. Concepts. Entities older than matter. Aeron wiped her tears. Let them come. Her flame rose behind her. A miniature sun, pulsing with revolt. If the multiverse wants a monster. Her eyes blazed. I'll show them what a reborn universe really is. For the first time in the history of existence, not just one timeline, not one galaxy but all realities together, the multiverse prepared for war. It began with a sound no living creature was ever meant to hear. The choir inhaled. Across every universe, oceans froze. Mountains bowed. Stars flickered as if holding their breath. Even Aeron felt it. A subtle shift in gravity. As though 13 entire realities had leaned forward to glare directly at her. The Betweenwalker turned pale. They're summoning their champions, he whispered, voice quivering. Not armies made of flesh, but concepts given shape. Aeron stood unmoving, flame trembling around her like wings. Her universe newborn, resurrected whispered through her pulse. They cannot kill you. But they can kill everything around you. She set her jaw. They won't. The choir's first strike. In the far distance beyond the veil of Aeron's reality. A shape tore through the sky. Not a ship. Not a creature. A law. The first law of the choir. The Edict of Paling. A cosmic decree that erased color, heat, and life wherever it passed. It descended like a white eclipse, draining the world to grayscale as it moved. Forests wilted. Clouds turned pale. Even Aeron's flame flickered, shrinking in fear. The Between Walker grabbed her arm. We have to move now. But Aeron didn't run. She stepped forward. Her flame roared, golden and furious, color bleeding back where her light touched. No law will take my world, she declared. The Edict of Paling halted. Then impossibly. It spoke. Child of the dead sun. Surrender your flame. Or your universe is undone. Aeron lifted a hand. Fire welled in her palm. A spark bright enough to blind the horizon. Come take it. The law trembled. And Aeron struck. Her flame collided with the edict, exploding the sky with brilliance. Space cracked like glass. Gravity howled. Entire mountain ranges shook. In seconds, the pale law shattered. Splintering into dust that evaporated into the wind. The choir felt it across every universe. One of their laws broken. The war officially began. The choir retaliates. The moment the law died, the air thickened. Dark, heavy, grieving. The choir did not scream. They vibrated. A low, cosmic hum that rippled through Aeron's bones. 13 tears opened in the sky. 13 silhouettes stepped through. Not bodies. Not gods. The first wave of the choir's champions. The archivists of ends. Sentient voids shaped like cloaked figures. Each with a hollow face burning with starless fire. They were the keepers of death's final form. If they touched a world, that world was forgotten. Forever. The Between Walker grabbed Aeron. Don't fight those. Run. But Aeron's flame surged instead. No. She walked forward. The archivists drifted silently, their touch erasing every atom they passed. One reached for her. Aeron raised her hands. Her flame flared. Then dimmed. Her universe whispered. They erase memory. Not matter. If they reach your flame, you will forget who you are. Aeron hesitated. For the first time, she felt fear. True fear. Fear of losing herself. Fear of losing the reborn universe inside her. But then she heard it. A heartbeat. Not hers. A universe's. Weak. But alive. Depending on her. She lifted her chin. I remember everything, she said softly. And I will not let you take it. Her flame exploded upward. Not as fire. But as light. Waves of golden radiance rippled out. Illuminating the archivists' hollow faces. They recoiled, shrinking. Her light wasn't just light. It was memory. It was history. It was every moment. Every life. Every fallen star from her universe. Crying to live again. The first archivist screamed. Its form unraveling like smoke in sunlight. The others fled back through their tears in the sky, retreating into the void. Aeron lowered her hand, panting. The Between Walker stared at her in awe. You're not fighting like a mortal, he whispered. You're fighting like a universe. Aeron wiped blood from her lip and forced a smile. Maybe that's what I have to be. The moment everything changed. Far beyond the stars. In the unreachable realm of the choir. The 13 universe beings recoiled in horror. Their voices merged. She grows too fast. Her flame adapts. She is becoming what we feared. One voice, darker than the rest, thundered. Then we end this now. A shard of pure black light tore open reality. Something stepped out. Not a law. Not a champion. Not a concept. But something far, far worse. The Null Primarch. The choir's only executioner. A being that devoured universes whole. The last resort of all creation. The moment it appeared. Aeron felt the temperature of existence drop. Not her planet. Not her galaxy. Everything. as if the multiverse was exhaling its final breath. The Between Walker turned white. Oh no. Aeron. He's not here to fight. He swallowed. He's here to erase you. Aeron's flame dimmed. For the first time, it trembled. The Null Primarch raised its hand. A hand shaped from the absence of matter. And pointed right at her. The sky collapsed into black. The ground broke open. Reality warped. And Aeron whispered. So this is what death of a universe feels like. But the flame in her chest throbbed once more. Not in fear. In defiance. This war, she murmured, should never have been. Her eyes blazed. But if the multiverse wants it, I'll end it. Silence. Not the quiet kind. But the kind that eats sound. Eats time. Eats the very memory of what a heartbeat is. The world around Aeron warped like melting glass. The Null Primarch stood across from her. A silhouette of absolute darkness. A wound in reality shaped vaguely like a man. Its presence erased color. Its shadow erased gravity. Its gaze erased the illusion of hope. Every breath Aeron took felt like inhaling the ashes of dying timelines. The Between Walker had fallen to one knee. Hands over his ears. As if the Primarch's existence itself screamed inside his skull. Aeron, he rasped. You cannot fight that. No one can. But she stood tall. Her flame small, flickering. Held firm. I won't run, she said softly. The Null Primarch tilted its faceless head. Then, in a voice colder than the void between dead stars, it spoke. You carry what should never have lived. Aeron stepped forward. So that's why you're here? To kill me. The Primarch's shadow expanded. Not you. It pointed at her chest. What you carry. Aeron's hand instinctively hovered above her heart. Where the seed of the dead universe throbbed like a second heartbeat. And suddenly, for the first time, she understood. The choir wasn't trying to kill her. They were trying to prevent the rebirth of a universe they once destroyed. Her universe. He was right, Aeron breathed. The Between Walker looked up weakly. Who? Aeron didn't answer. The Primarch raised its hand. Reality cracked like stone. Time folded inward. And the voice of 13 universes echoed at once. Surrender the seed. Aeron took a deep breath. No. Light burst from her skin, the light of billions of dead suns remembering their last breath. The Null Primarch paused. Something in Aeron's aura unsettled it. For the first time in eternity, the executioner hesitated. And Aeron saw it. A seam. A fracture. A hairline imperfection in its void body. Mask, she whispered. The flame in her chest throbbed again. Stronger, louder. Show me what you really are. The Primarch froze. Reality trembled. And the universe around them, from soil to sky, split open like a page being torn. Aeron raised a trembling hand. Her flame brightened. And the Null Primarch's shadow core cracked. A sliver of light leaked out. A human light. Eyes widened across the battlefield of reality. The Between Walker gasped. Impossible. Aeron whispered. You're not a void being. Her hand shook. You're a person. The Primarch's mask shattered. And beneath the layers of annihilation and void code, a face emerged. Not alien. Not formless. Not cosmic. But human. A man. Young. Tired. Eyes full of centuries of pain. He looked at Aeron with an expression no void being could ever imitate. Recognition. Aeron. His voice was barely a whisper. You shouldn't have survived. The entire multiverse faltered. The choir screamed. A screech so loud every universe shook. The executioner has been compromised. Aeron stumbled back. Her throat tightened. Who are you? The man pulled the last fragments of void mask from his face. He stepped toward her. Shaking, trembling. Breathing heavily as if holding back an ocean of terror. I am its failure, he said. The choir sent me to kill your universe long before you were born. He pointed at her chest at the seed burning inside her. And I refused. Aeron felt her breath catch. You saved it? He nodded. I saved you. Lightning ripped across the sky. The choir's 13 gates split open wider. Their rage boiled like suns going supernova. The prim arch must be purged. But the man ignored them. His eyes still partly void black locked onto Aeron. You must end this war, he said. Before they erase all of existence to correct their mistake. Aeron swallowed. And you? He smiled sadly. I was erased long ago. This body, this voice, they're borrowed from the space between realities. He took Aeron's hand. The touch nearly broke her heart. You cannot save me. But you can save everything else. Aeron's flame crackled. Not with destruction. But with grief. What do you want me to do? The man exhaled softly. Become what they fear. A universe that refuses to obey. His eyes softened. And when you do, remember me. The choir's roar tore through the sky. The prim arch is rejected. The error must be erased. The man pushed Aeron back, light bursting from his palm. Aeron, run. The choir struck. Space imploded. The man. The failed prim arch. The human who once saved a universe. Was swallowed by 13 collapsing realities. His final words echoed in her mind. End the war. Become the star they cannot kill. Aeron fell to her knees. Her flame extinguished. Then. Slowly. It ignited in a new color. Silver white. The color of a newborn universe choosing to fight. The universe felt heavier now. Not because it was dying. But because Aeron finally understood what it meant to be alive. She stood at the edge of the ruined threshold where the prim arch had vanished. Reality still trembled, flickering in and out like a broken star lamp. The sky above her split with streaks of cosmic static. Echoes of the choir's rage. But inside her chest. The seed pulsed not with destruction. But with grief. A grief older than worlds. A grief that wasn't hers. Aeron's fingers trembled as she pressed her palm against her heart. What was he to me? The between walker limped forward from behind her, coughing dust. He had witnessed it all. The unmasking. The erasure. The sacrifice. He spoke carefully. Aeron, what you felt. That connection. It was not just emotional. It was temporal. She turned. Temporal. The between walker nodded. The prim arch, the man he once was tied to your universe before it died? Aeron stiffened. Her breath hitched. You mean he was from? The between walker raised a hand, silencing her. No. Not your universe. But the universe your mother carried before you were born. Aeron felt the world tilt. Her knees weakened. The between walker explained. He was the one who tried to save your original reality. He couldn't stop its collapse. But he shielded one thing. He looked directly at Aeron. You. Aeron's throat tightened painfully. That's why he recognized me. The between walker nodded. You were the last heartbeat of a dying universe. He carried your mother through the collapse. He protected her until she found the chamber of embers. Until she placed the seed inside you before you were even born. Aeron looked down at her hands. The same hands that had summoned stars and ended armies. Hands that should belong to a destroyer. But now they only felt small. Human. He saved me twice, she whispered. First when I was a child unborn. And now, when they tried to erase me. The between walker said nothing. There was nothing to say. Aeron closed her eyes. In the darkness behind her eyelids. She saw it. A flicker of memory that wasn't hers. A woman screaming as reality disintegrated. A man wrapped in void fire shielding her with his body. A collapsing universe pressing inward like a dying lung. And a small heartbeat. Hers. Fluttering inside the woman he protected. A single memory that survived destruction. The Primarch's last gift. A tear rolled down Aeron's cheek. He wasn't a monster, Aeron whispered. He was, the last guardian of a world no one remembers. The sky rumbled with an approaching presence. A cold, metallic chorus echoed across dimensions. The error persists. The seed must be removed. The choir had returned. 13 fractures in the sky opened like enormous cosmic pupils staring down at her. Fresh rage surged through the air. Not theirs. Hers. Aeron stood. Calm. Cold. Resolute. I won't run. The fractures widened. You hold a dead universe. It must not be reborn. Aeron stepped forward, flames swirling around her feet. You were afraid of him, she said quietly. That's why you turned him into a weapon. The choir didn't respond. Silence was their admission. And now, Aeron whispered. You're afraid of me. Her flame shifted. From gold. To white. To the same silver shimmer the Primarch had shown before he died. The Between Walker gasped. That's not just the seed. Aeron, that's him. Because the Primarch had left more than a memory. He had left a spark. A fragment of his essence, hidden deep within her seed. Like a final wish. Aeron raised her hand toward the sky. Toward the choir who had killed worlds. Killed him. Killed everything she came from. No more. The flame inside her heart split open. Not with destruction. But with memory. 1,000 voices of her dead universe sang at once. Not in sorrow. But in awakening. Her tear glowed like a star as it fell. I remember you, she whispered to the lost Primarch. And I will carry you into whatever comes next. The choir roared. The seed awakens. This is unacceptable. Aeron stepped forward. No. Silver fire erupted from her spine like wings of molten time. You don't get to choose what is acceptable anymore. The fractures shook. The choir faltered. Aeron's voice broke into a whisper. This is for him. She raised both hands. The universe fell silent. And then, in a single heartbeat, Aeron unleashed the memory of a dead universe. Not as a weapon, but as a rebirth. A new star erupted behind her. Small. Delicate. Impossible. A memory turned into light. The choir screamed. For the first time. In eternity. They were afraid. Aeron took a step toward them. Let this be the last thing you hear, she whispered. Her silver flame roared. He saved me. Now I save everything else. She surged upward. And the universe followed. The collapse of the war, the sacrifice of the Primarch, and Aeron's final choice left behind a silence deeper than any void, a silence from which creation itself was forced to rethink its beginning. But this time, it remembered her. The new first light. There was no explosion. No tearing fabric. No violent expansion. The new universe began as a breath. A soft inhale of existence. Aeron stood in a space that was both everywhere and nowhere, watching the first threads of reality weave themselves from her fingertips, shy, shimmering lines that curled into galaxies like seedlings learning how to grow. But she didn't command them. She only guided. Start gentle, she whispered. And the universe listened. Stars sparked to life like fireflies. Nebulae unfurled like petals. And in the distance, a newborn sun laughed, a bright, warm sound that felt like hope rediscovered. For the first time since she became more than mortal, Aeron smiled without sorrow. The Primarch's legacy. The Primarch was gone, but not forgotten. As Aeron shaped the young cosmos, she felt echoes faint, but unmistakable woven into the new physical laws. A symmetry here. A protective fold around fragile worlds. A subtle resistance against any force trying to exploit space-time. It was his final gift. A universe designed to survive what the last one could not. And sometimes, when the light struck a nebula just right, she thought she saw his silhouette only for a moment watching over her work. Not haunting. Just, present. A reminder of who she saved. And who saved her. The living constellation. When the universe matured enough to form its first civilizations, Aeron decided to leave it in their hands. Not as a god. As a wanderer. She walked among primitive worlds, unseen, leaving hints, mathematical whispers, dreams of the stars, instincts to cooperate rather than conquer. Life blossomed differently this time. Kinder. Curious. Reaching upward with hope instead of hunger. And every night sky in every newborn world contained a single shared constellation. A figure of light, long hair, outstretched hands, cloak of stars. No matter where you looked, which direction you faced. She was always there. Watching. Teaching. Protecting. They called her the Eternal Shepherd. But Aeron never claimed the name. The final twist, a message from beyond. Eons passed. Aeron drifted to the edge of the universe she created, the outer darkness, though in truth it was warm and quiet, like the edge of a dream. Here, She intended to rest. To become nothing more than a caretaker hidden in myth. But then, something impossible happened. A knock on reality. Not literal. Not physical. A vibration. A pattern. A signature she knew instantly. Her breath caught. It was a message. From outside her universe. From a realm that should not exist. Aeron touched the trembling fabric and it whispered a single line. We found him. Her heart stopped. Her pulse roared. Her knees weakened. Him. There was only one him the multiverse would risk contacting her about. The Primarch. Not dead. Not erased. Not even ascended. Lost. Somewhere between universes. Still alive. And then beneath the message came something even more frightening. Coordinates. The multiverse wanted her back. The end. Or not. Aeron looked at her perfect universe, her promise, her hope, her home. Then at the coordinates glowing like a heartbeat. She whispered to the stars. Watch over them for me. I'll return. And she stepped forward. Beyond her creation. Into the forgotten dark between realities. Where the Primarch waited. End. But only of this universe.